I hit it.
I'm Southern Outdoor 7 from my buddy Garrett Bond. We're going to be making you a simple 5-hook trot line for all of you that don't know how to make one. I'm tired of all the people saying you got to use trot line clips and snap swivels and all that kind of bull crap, which we're going to show you today. We use a 235-pound test black line. You can use any kind, but it's 113, ain't it? Right, 113, we're just using this orange line right now. You use some Eagle Claw laser sharp. You can use 5/0 to 4/0 hooks. And we're going to show you how to make it now. How much do you think we need?
Can't see.
You're going to want to cut it about, I say, about 25, 30 foot. You want to cut it, you want to burn the ends on it.
But we ain't got a slider right now, so we can't do it.
But you want to put them at least arm length apart. Usually it will make it longer than that, but today we're just going to make it arm length apart. You want your take in, just tie you a knot in this, like this, just like that.
Here.
And then you want to come another arm length apart.
You're going to come, take just like that right there, wrap around your finger, and then pull it off, and come through.
Twist it on there, just like that.
And just pull it on there, pull it tight. And you can just do it again.
And you come about another arm length apart, tie you another one, just like so. And then you want to come another one. Just keep doing the same step until you get as many hooks you want or use all your line up.
It's going to be a 5-foot?
Yeah. And then at the end of it,
We ain't got us a brick in here. But
you'll take it and you want to tie.
here, Jackson, his little brother in here's got him a little piece of Lego we'll show you with.
You want to tie a knot just like that. And you'll run it through here just like so. And you want to tie just a regular slip knot. And then you want to pull it tight and it's going to slip down tight on that brick and it won't come off. Like so. And then over here at the other end, you want to tie your regular little knot. Like we showed you how we tie our leaders on our trot line. Like that. So then when you come up there stump or whatever you're going to do, you can just do that and hook it on there so like that.
And another thing is when you hook it on there and you don't trust it, put it around once, twist it, and then that right.
Do your hatchet.
Do your
Hatchet.
half hitch, and that right there ain't coming off no matter what you do.
Just like last night we caught a 15-pound flathead.
Cost a 15-pound flathead off of an 8-hook trot line. We've got our bait on our 20-hook trot line. It wasn't too good. It just didn't do nothing. It didn't exceed like we wanted to. But we put live bait on this on our 8-hook trot line last night. It worked. It worked perfect.
You just want, it doesn't matter really how long you make your leader line.
We'll just make them as long as this little
We'll just say we'll make it about just come
2 foot, a foot or 2.
Yeah, and you'll just say come across here and you'll take it. You want to burn the ends because if you don't, it's going to fray. And you'll take it and you'll cut it off there like that.
Just take your hook.
You take that hook. And we do it easier. We just run through there like this. And we come back by here like so. And you'll come down here. And you'll tie.
Just a regular shoelace knot. Like beginning knot of your shoelace.
And then we just come back and we tie it right here. Like this. So your hook can't slide too far past. Like that. So then when he gets on there, he can do all this he wants to, but he can't ever pull off. And you want to make just another, however many of those you want. You take it, cut you another one off there like that. Except we ain't got that, so we have to lick it like that. You lick it, you take it, you pinch it down like that. And you put it down in there. just got to keep pulling until it comes down on there. And you want to pull it, and you tie it down like this.
Just do your simple knot we showed you.
You want to do it just like that. And then you'll come back. I'll just take two of my fingers and I'll take it and I'll pull it through like that and then just tighten it down. And so then you can't pull off. You make however many you trot line, like I said earlier.
And again, you can get this material at any Walmart or any like sporting goods store
Or any, well, not every bait shop sells it, but most of them do.
Most of your bait shops will have your hooks, and if you can get you some live shiners, you just take them shiners,
Hook them right through the back.
hook them right through the backbone.
But see, last night we used shiners on our rigs, and we had some cut bait, but it didn't do too good on that limestone wall.
Yeah, here where we live in Geneva, we got a limestone wall in our creeks. Man, it works good.
You just keep on doing that same routine until you get it the way you want it, and then after that, it's just there.
Ain't no ifs, ands, and buts about it, this
And
thing.
he can't pull that hook off there for no reason unless he just breaks the line.
Which has got to be a big old cat.
We don't usually catch them that big around here. We caught some that weighed 40 pounds.
Catch most of them in Oklahoma and all, where you catch most of your big ones.
You catch them every now and then with a big old live brim on your hook.
Yeah, but you don't do much of that. You don't catch much.
Not usually. Usually we just catch one that weighs 8 or 10 pounds. Last night we caught one a little bit bigger than usual, but we always catch flatheads. And this is the way right here. This is the way you want to hook. This right here. You take your knot you tie and you run that hook through here just like this. You'll run it right through there, and you'll come up like this. And you'll take this line right here and you'll just pull it through there like that.
You'll make you just a simple slip knot. That's all you got to do.
And then, look, he can't pull that back unless he can go through that knot you tie. There's no other way he can pull that off. And then you'll just do that down every one of your knots, and then he can't do nothing about it if he gets on
It's
there.
right there. He's there. He's set.
It's set, and then you just take your bait. You can use circle hooks on these though.
Yeah, you don't have to use the hooks we use.
We just use those hooks because
They're cheaper,
it's
easier to use.
it's got the big end on them, the big eye on them, I should say. So the line just goes through there perfect like that. And then you take off with your thing.
We like to use a boat when we're doing most of our trot lines.
Because if you don't use a boat, it's just going to get all tangled up.
And it'll piss you off. I'm just going to say it'll piss you off.
And you take it down to you'll take it and you'll tie it off where you want it to be.
You'll tie-
and
we
and
like-
as it comes out, you want to bait your hook with whatever your bait may be. And you'll just pull it tight. You'll tie it off and you'll pull it tight. And you'll pull it where you want it to go to. Like, say you're going to tie it on a limb. You'll pull it down there and you want to make sure your hooks are all hanging, and you'll hold it tight and you'll drop it down in the water. And when you drop it down in the water like that, it goes to the bottom. But see, we just tied this short right here, for example, to show you, it's only about an arm length apart. We just tied that. You don't want to tie that. You want to tie at least 3 foot. At least 3 foot away, like from your first hook. Because if you don't, you'll tie it off something high, then your first hook won't be in the water, see? And that ain't no good.
And we like to take our, at the beginning of our thing, and we like to tie it to a limb so you'll know you have fish in there because that limb will just be sitting there just shaking, if you know what I mean.
But it ain't gonna, if you get a big flathead on and he's been fighting all night, he ain't gonna be shaking your limb. So even if the limb ain't shaking, it don't mean the fish ain't on there. And we tie it most of the time to stumps, but sometimes we tie it to limbs. But if you tie it to a limb, you gotta have a long line before you come to your first hook.
And
we usually put them about our hooks 3 foot apart, but if you do that, it's gonna be a long trot line, so you just gotta make sure.
got you a boat.
If you don't have a boat, it ain't ever gonna work.
If you don't have a boat,
You can take it and pull it tight on the bank and throw it as far as you can throw it out there, but we usually use just a little old brick you can find.
we like to take like a regular bricks on your house that's got 3 holes in it. We prefer to cut them in half for our short lines, and our big long lines we like to keep them whole.
Yeah, and like I said, we use, you can use cut bait on these, but we usually use them live brim if we put it down on a limestone or something. Some people call them soapstone, but we call them limestone down here. And that's where you catch the catfish.
And one more thing before we go, we like to take on our bigger lines. We take and we put a brick in them styrofoam ice chest you can get.
You take it.
We take and put the brick in and just keep wrapping it around that thing. And then when you come to your first hook, you hook it on the
bucket.
You hook it on the
side of your
side of your cooler, and that way your hooks can't get tangled up. And you just remember which way you laid them, and you just pull your stuff out. When you come to each hook, you take it off and bait it and throw it out there.
And when it's sometimes good to have a staple gun around with you. So then at the end of your line where your knot is right here, you can take it and you can take that staple gun and staple it to
the side of the box, and then
she
ain't going nowhere.
And then you can just grab it when you come to the thing, tie it off, and just start pulling bait on there and pulling it out the way you want it to be. Most of the time you catch the fish, it ain't gonna be exactly right on the bottom. That's why you want. And like we didn't say this yet, you want your brick about 3 foot from your hook as well. You don't want it to be right there, because if you do,
it's gonna be on the bottom, and he can get around stumps, and you're just gonna have a mess. You might as well just cut your line and throw it in.
And if you don't make it wide apart, if you get you a good channel cat that's still good thing, he's still good and alive. He'll take and he'll wrap all these hooks together, and it'll just be in a big mess.
That's why you want to keep a good heavy weight on the bottom, and you still want to have a good length apart.
And you want your line to be tight when you throw it in, because if it ain't, it's gonna get slack in it, and that current's gonna either take it, hang it up under the limestone wall, or it's gonna take it and put it in shallower water. And that ain't what you want. You want it to be out there where in that deep channel or whatever you're gonna fish in. These right here also work. They will also work in a pond. If you take, but see, you don't have to put the lead on the end. You can take the lead off. You can take the lead off and tie it off to your.
You can tie
Say you tie it to one tree, and you can put a lead in the middle, or you don't have to put a lead at all. But see, we always put a lead on it because it'll go to the bottom. If you tie it to one tree and another tree, and you don't have it tied off, if you don't have it a lead in the middle, it's just going to be like on top of the water. So we always tie the one limb into the other limb and put the weight in the middle. So then it's going to come down like this.
It's going to come down at a V, and then it's like, sometimes it'll be like right on the edges of your pond, depending on how long, big and all your pond is. And it'll, like if there's a hole that a catfish is dug out, and that catfish smells that, you always want to use, like, if you can, and you're not using live bait, take some fish or some steak or something, and put a bunch of spices and all together, make it good marinated, and let the stuff rot. I mean, you just want it stinking rotten. And you hook it on there, throw it out, you'll have catfish.
And there's another thing that you're going to say. If in a pond, if it's a deep hole there, if it's a real deep hole, you can take it, and one end you can tie your bottom and run your line to the bottom right there, and tie your trot line to that and run it out there, and put you another lead right here in the center, and then come on the other side and put you another weight down to the bottom, and then you line up and put your another bottle, so it'll be like this, and you'll have weights tied to them bottles so it can't drift off, and it'll be in that V down in that deep hole, and that's where them big catfish lay in.
That it?
That's it.